Hello and welcome everybody who have tuned in to, of course, check this grand final of the excellent Moscow Cup. It is Power Rangers versus Team Empire. As far as I know, there is no game 1 advantage, so a full-on best of 5 in the makings. We are, of course, HeflaTV. My name is Coucher, and with me at the moment is Benchy. What are your predictions on this game?
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty awesome game, considering that these are two teams that have easily on the top of their scene, as in both of them are going to be in some form competing in the upcoming international. And, well, this could be a sign of things to come.
It most definitely could. And Power Rangers, in the first two games today against Osliki Gaming as well as Virtus Pro, they just looked extremely strong, especially Virtus Pro. They just bitch slapped little children. So they're on fire at the moment, but Team Empire, they're just the go-to team when you think about CIS dominance. I mean, of course there's Navi, but after that it must be Team Empire. They just, I mean, ever since 2014, they've been at top 3 in Europe almost everywhere they've gone, so definitely something to be afraid of. The bans, they start rather standard. Empire takes out the Invoker, whereas Power Rangers taking out the Mirana, so I mean, do you actually expect to see some weird bans or picks, maybe like Huskar, Tusk, Medusa even, something along those lines?
Yeah, because obviously both these two teams are going to know each other. But there is also the interesting thing of, with the international coming up so soon, are these two teams actually going to be going for the... Are they going to be, say, playing just a standard game? Or are they going to be trying to hide what they really want to throw out, what their real power is, so to say?
Well, I think I'm expecting at least a Treant Protector. If it's not banned, it's definitely gonna be picked up by either team. Team Empire, they can easily still go for a Shadow Demon even without the Mirana. I mean, both Vanscore as well as Always Wanna Fly can easily pick up the Shadow Demon. They're so damn good with it. Just spot on all the time with the disruptions when necessary. And well, Power Rangers, they're actually taking their sweet time. They ban out the Darkseer, and Darkseer is a hero that has suddenly once again become like super popular. Everybody plays it, and well, they don't want to go for the team fight combination or don't want to face up against it, but Team Empire go for the Io first pick, leaving the Treant Protector, Shadow Demon, maybe even an Ember Spirit, Center War Runner. Any of those heroes could be picked by Power Rangers now.
As in that is a very interesting pick coming out from Team Empire, but at the same time I do understand what they're doing. They're kind of putting Power Rangers into an interesting position of, there's a few heroes you definitely don't want an IO to pair up with. You've got that Tiny, and the various other combos, basically anything that's a melee stun that does huge amounts of damage. But that means that Power Rangers right now, they've got the first two picks, but do they pick up those heroes so Team Empire can't pick them up and possibly mess up their own draft, or do they just continue with their own strategy and hope that the IO plus whatever Team Empire can pick up isn't going to hurt too much?
Well, I really think they should be just running what they feel is best for them. If you just start picking up things just so that the enemy wouldn't get them, then it all just goes to hell usually. So I'm still expecting them to go with their own draft. I don't actually think Team Empire is gonna go for the IO partner straight up as the second pick. It's possible they could just go for the Tiny, which is the most popular one. But maybe they just want to force Team Empire to waste a few bans in the second rotation. Or rather, Empire wants to force Power Rangers to waste two bans on just the IO partners.
As you see, Wraith King is going to get picked up. A very nice, probably going to be playing support, I'd guess, as he has risen in popularity as that support role just because of how good he is without items in terms of he just got stun and those very good auras.
Yeah, it's pretty decent as well. I mean, even if he's in the carry role, that would make it so that Team Empires relocates. They are likely to actually end up on the Wraith King. But the Wraith King just reincarnates, comes back, slows them down, maybe gets a counter kill with it. So even support or carry, it's still really nice against the IO because IO usually just spells aggressiveness. But Wraith King does counteract it too a little bit. But Ancient Apparition is the second pick for them. And in some forms, it's actually really good against the IO, because if you get the Ice Blast on the IO as well as his tethered target, the double heal, which is usually so strong with him, it just won't be effective at all anymore.
Ooh, we're going to see a gyrocopter be picked up by Team Empire. Now that's an interesting pickup.
That is indeed, and it's a decent combination to be honest with the IO itself, because the gyrocopter can just stay on top of the targets with his rocket barrage thanks to the tether movement speed, especially if he actually gets the slow from the tether as well, and the rocket barrage does just obscene amounts of damage early on.
Yeah, so you basically gyrocopter, you can build him in two different ways. You can either go for that early game rocket barrage aggression, where you're basically planning on overwhelming what off lane you're trying to go up against, or you can build him for that more late game carry style. Focus on those more late game items.
Yeah, usually you just get face boots, maybe drums, Helm of Dominator, start stacking up the ancients yourself with the Dominator creep, and the gyrocopter, actually, if I see them in the super late game or when I've seen them in the last month or so, they actually tend to not win the games somehow, although they dish out a ton of damage. Yesterday we saw one who was successful, but that's like 1 out of 5 or so. So,
Yes. He is a rarely picked up hero just because of how he is a niche pick, so to say.
yeah, it kind of is. Some teams just prefer it, and actually I think Power Rangers themselves, I'm not too sure if it was Team Empire who actually completely wrecked with the gyrocopter yesterday. Yeah, I think it was actually versus Virtus.pro. The second game it was a really long one, so the gyrocopter is something that the Empire is familiar with at the very least. And in the same thought, it's really nice the Power Rangers actually banned out the Darkseer, because the Darkseer could combo up with the gyrocopter extremely well. But the secondary bans, Empire taking out Nature's Prophet, so stopping the push from Power Rangers, maybe even a level 1 Roche which they used against Virtus.pro. And the Templar Assassin, so mid lane aggression, and I'm not too sure what the Team Empire actually want to go for the mid lane themselves with. They can still go for the tiny IO mid lane. The Templar Assassin would be pretty survivable in that matchup, thanks to the refraction of course. So
There is also for the mid lane a combo I've seen picked up slightly more recently over the days, has been the IO plus Morphling combo. There's a lot of burst, and that relocate does work rather well with the shotgun blast of a Morphling.
yeah, that is actually a pretty strong combination, because Morphling, he has a little bit of mana issues, but the IO completely fixes that. Just tether up, bottle up, and Morphling suddenly can spam out his waveform a little bit more. And, well, if Empire go for the tiny now, I actually somewhat would like to see Power Rangers go to the OD pick, because the OD actually with the Astral Imprisonment, he can just survive the lane. I saw it a few days ago, maybe yesterday. All the games are just mixed up in my mind anyway, but it was pretty strong. The OD actually didn't die, got a pretty decent amount of last hits even though he was in the 2v1 matchup. So that's one possibility for them at least.
As an OD, he is one of the harder mids to go up against. There's very few heroes that do purely counter him, the most famous being that Razor, and, well, regardless of what will be picked up on Team Empire, an OD pick probably would work out rather nice for them.
Yeah, I actually would like to see the Razor. You don't see it that often. Usually, like you said, it counters the OD, so it's just picked as a counter to the OD specifically. Other than that, not many teams run it in other compositions. But Team Empire, I mean, Weaver was picked by Power Rangers, so Nyx Assassin is the pick for Empire. And, well, Nyx Assassin's mana burn can help out a little bit against the Wraith King. Maybe get his mana low enough so that he wouldn't actually get the reincarnation off. Other than that, Spike Carapace, while Weaver is Sukuching through you, is, well, it's not a sure stun by any means, but it does help out a little bit at least. Try to lock down the Weaver. Other than that, you just cannot impale the Weaver if he's Sukuchid, or if you can, you're just extremely skilled or lucky.
As in, it also means that at this moment, you see that two of the heroes currently on Power Rangers are very squishy if they get caught out. And what Nyx Assassin is good at, he's good at always being annoying. He's always good at punishing you for picking up any kind of squishy hero. So we do see they pick up a Tide Hunter on the Power Rangers side.
Well, and that's definitely not a squishy hero. Oh, the big fish. Well, Power Rangers, they do love to have some teamfight of their own. And with the Ancient Apparition and the Tide Hunter, they should have plenty already. They still do need themselves a potential mid laner. And, well, I actually don't know how they're gonna lane this. With the Tidehunter, FNG played a pure support Tidehunter versus Virtus Pro, so they actually might not run it off lane. They might run even a Wraith King Ancient Interpretation tri lane, I guess, with Weaver maybe on the off lane, although they could send the Weaver mid lane as well. Just expecting Team Empire to go for the dual mid, and the Weaver with the Sukuchi should be able to survive the burst or whatever harass is coming out.
Well, this is one of the advantages of heroes like Weaver and Tidehunters, that they are very flexible in what they can do. You can either play them as pure offlane or put them in support, support or carry roles. And it's very, very useful in terms of drafting, as it means that your opponents don't quite know what they need to do, what they need to ban out, what they need to counter.
That is always nice to do, but Empire, they go for the Tusk. We see a relatively new hero of sorts in the competitive scene. Not many teams actually run it, but I actually don't know where they're going to run it. Is it actually going to be a mid lane Tusk? Or is it going to be IO Tusk partnered up?
Possibly. I think that, actually thinking about it, that could work out rather nicely.
Yeah, actually one other thing is the Tusk with the Snowball has the potential to just save everybody from the Ravage of the Tidehunter, maybe even the Ice Blast. But the Ice Blast is harder to actually dodge because you don't see it coming usually. But Tidehunter Ravage, it starts from the Tidehunter and just expands outwards. And in the meantime, if the Tusk is fast enough, can form the Snowball and just click all his teammates in it. It's a possibility. It's going to take a lot of excellent timing and reactions by him. But that's one thing that can be done.
Yeah, that Snowball, that new change to it basically changed the entire hero, the way he's played. He went from a okay ganker with an early aggressive focus to someone who's got a lot of utility in terms of team fight and aggression.
And well, of course the Walrus punch, man. That's aggressive as it gets. That punch is just... actually it does ridiculous amounts of damage. You wouldn't even expect it otherwise. But that's a possibility for them, and well, between the Tusk and the Gyro, I guess they have a decent amount of late game, depending on if Power Rangers actually wants to use the Wraith King as a carry or a support. And well, the Alchemist, their lineup overall, Power Rangers, it feels kind of greedy to me.
Well, it depends on who they want to pick up as support or not. They do have the advantage that three of these heroes, they don't need a lot of items, but they can make use of that farm. Having said that, and they do have a pretty good combo as well with that Wraithfire Blast, Cold Feet, and the Unstable Concoction all coming in together, as we could in theory be seeing that as a tri-lane. And that'd be a very good, very aggressive, practically guaranteed kill if they can hit that combo.
Yeah, the tri-lane actually would be pretty strong, and Team Empire themselves, well, they go for the Dragon Knight. That is their tanky presence, and actually once he gets the BKB, I really fear that Power Rangers will struggle in actually bringing resolution down on the Dragon Knight. Especially if he has that BKB finished up. And of course he gets the armor from Dragon Blood anyway. But, I mean, both teams' lineups, they have their perks for sure. As far as just pure teamfight goes, Power Rangers, they should have the advantage with the Ice Blast, with the Ravage, and of course the reincarnation from Wraith King. Because Empire themselves, apart from maybe the cooldown, they actually don't have any massive AoE or anything.
As in, it is worth noting that on the Power Ranger side as well, they are lacking that, assuming we have a Wraith King support, which it looks like he is, considering he's brought up those wards, they are lacking that right-click damage. They're lacking that, like you said, as soon as someone picks up a BKB, all their damage all of a sudden dissipates.
Yeah, I guess they will have to counteract it with maybe a little bit of the Alchemist. He of course has the minus armor from Acid Spray, which does help out. But to go over the lineups real fast, Cheshire on the Tidehunter for the offlane on Power Rangers, leaving J4 to play the Ancient Apparition with FNG on the Wraith King. Actually, they're grouping up towards the bottom side. I guess they just want to make sure what rune spawns so the Tidehunter wouldn't be in trouble. And of course, Scandal is their star mid player. He's on the Alchemist this time around, and Moon will be heading towards the safe lane on the Weaver.
It's worth noting that Tide actually did rush all the way down to this offlane and immediately get that ward placed down before anyone could take him out.
Yeah, those wards are actually kind of close to each other. I think Tidehunter, there's nothing he can actually do about the ward, whereas Empire, once they actually see Tide doing their little dance with the supports of Empire just backing off at the exact right times, they will get an idea that the ward is there and probably just counter it. They have 2 sentries on task anyway.
Having said that, it is interesting to note that where is this trial going to end up going, as we do see that Nyx is the one heading down towards this solo safe lane at the moment.
Well, actually, yeah, looks like they might be going for the aggressive tri lane, just leaving Mag up against the Tidehunter. If it's even going to be a Tidehunter solo, because if FNG, as well as J4, if they would have meant to tri lane with the Weaver, I think they should have started running already there. So if it's actually a tri lane evolving around the Tidehunter, then this Nyx Assassin, he's not going to get anything done. Whereas Moon, I think he should have a slightly better time up against IO Gyro Tusk.
So Weaver does have that survivability. At the same time, I feel that both these two teams are basically trying to... They were trying to go tri lane versus tri lane, as I feel that both these two teams like the idea of their aggressive tri lane, but they've just kind of dodged each other.
Well, we will find out soon enough how it goes down.
It's also worth noting that we are going to be seeing, obviously, the Dragon Knights on the middle lane. Not going to be that dual IO lane. Resolution, famous for being that dominating mid-force.
Well, the Dragon Knight, I mean, he's just such a strong hero. You can't really shut him down mid lane either, because he just gets the bottle and gets the farm with the Breathe Fire anyway.
It's worth noting that a Dragon Knight versus Alchemist, I'd not say I've ever seen that matchup on mid before. But having said that, I'd say that both those two heroes would be mostly equally matched. They can't really kill each other without one of them making a huge mistake. But at the same time, they've both got enough survivability to get whatever the farm they need out the mid lane.
Yeah, well, Scandal, I mean, on the Alchemist, he should be fine. The Acid Spray does help him getting the farm, as well as just trying to harass the Dragon Knight. And when he gets his bottle, well, I'm expecting Alchemist to go for just maxed out Acid Spray as unstable concoction anyway. So he's not going for the, at least I think, he's not going for the Grievous Screed. Mid lane Alchemists just usually go for Acid Spray, unstable concoction, build the early mech for their team as well. And, well, I guess they could leave the mech up to the Tidehunter, but Tidehunter, I really want to see a fast blink on him.
Yes, and I would say that it's one of the more common themes out of this Power Ranger side, is that they definitely want to finish this early, and having Alchemist go Grievous Greed doesn't really help towards that, as that unstable concoction and Acid Spray can do huge amounts of damage early game.
Yeah, it definitely can, and most likely will as well. They have the setup stance for the unstable concoction by the Wraith King anyway. The Wraith Fire Blast is a really nice setup stun, to be honest. Not only does it stun, it also slows you for 2 seconds after it. So, looks like FNG, man, he's playing it sneaky at the moment, just staying in the trees. They want to catch somebody off guard, and looks like Mag, he's running towards the top side after all, and always want to fly, just straight up sentry ward. I mean, did he stream snipe at the moment? It sure felt like it.
As you do see that this could be a little bit of trouble right now. You see this Wraith King, they're just hiding in the jungle, trying to hide the fact that they've got a tri lane versus tri lane coming up. And they've even sent Tide here to make it look like it's an off lane. They're going to be going for the kill.
Oh, they spot him out as well. Will they actually get the stun? The Wraith Fire Blast to start things off. There's the Chilling Touch, a little bit too late. There's the Snowball being formed. It actually goes on to FNG. He doesn't have enough mana for another Wraith Fire Blast. And if only the Chilling Touch had come out like 1 second sooner, it would have been enough with the right clicks.
Nice idea. So close to getting that execution done, but in the end, Empire will be safe, and this is going to be an interesting, well, it looks like it's not going to be a tri lane, just going to be a Tidehunter off lane.
Yeah, I think they'll just leave him. They tried to go for the sneaky first blood. Oh, mid lane resolution drops really low as well. Scandal using all of his mana for it. Acid Spray, the unstable concoction. But of course, level 1 unstable doesn't do all that much damage. Maybe if you can channel it to full. But Scandal just didn't have the time to spare for it. And now, Dragon Knight suddenly back to full HP.
Yeah,
he had the early bottle coming out and just bottle crowing it.
That plus his Dragon Blood means that Dragon is one of those really hard heroes to truly harass out of a lane.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. I mean, Acid Spray, the minus armor is completely negated by the Dragon Blood. Like you said, just makes him innately tanky. Although J4 and FNG looks like they want to go for the rotations. FNG not using the clarity yet, so only one stun, but the one stun will have to do for him. There's mana enough for Unstable Concoction and Scandal as well, but Resolution is so far back, so FNG just tanks up a few tower hits and runs away.
Yeah.
Doing it with style.
I'm not quite sure if that was actually a gank attempt coming out, considering they had to know that the Dragon Knight was falling back. I feel that was more just a rotation to top, and just going through mid to see if anything ended up happening.
I guess helping out Moon will be worth it, although Moon should have a slight advantage. The mana burn definitely can be annoying by Mag. He has skilled and used it constantly on cooldown anyway. So now FNG, I'm not too sure if they can actually get a kill on Mag with the Spike Carapace and the Impale, but they should be pretty damn close. And FNG, he's just going in for the harass. He has the 1 point in the lifesteal as well. So as far as right clicks go, actually, I'm not too sure if he has the upper hand thanks to the poor man's shield on Mag.
I think he does actually get the worst of that exchange. Is just keeping that Nyx Assassin out of, I wouldn't say out of XP range, but out of harassment range, allowing Weaver to get free farm, as he is currently the second highest, or highest last hitter in the game right now.
Yeah, he's doing really well, of course. That's to be expected when he's on the safe lane. I mean, Silent, not far behind another Gyrocopter, 17 and 4 for himself. So both safe laners getting the amount of farm that is expected and required of them. And Cheshire Cat actually is level 3, so not doing that bad on the Tidehunter. Finally the pulls come through with the sentries, but now Mag in huge trouble. There's the Ray Fire Blast to begin with. Spike Carapace already came out, it wasn't enough. The body blocking, the Swarm is there as well. And just the right clicks coming out. The Impale, oh, it hits 2 heroes! But in the end it's not enough as J4 draws the first blood. Really nice rotations, and that's, I think, yeah, boots of speed for J4 now. That's a really nice gank.
And that's the entire advantage of this AA Apparition plus Wraithing lineup, that although they do get shut down a little bit by BKB before that happens, they can do huge amounts of damage and lots of ganking ability.
And that's the Power Rangers lineup as well. They actually really like to go for the early aggression. And so if they start with the first blood, maybe get a few follow-up kills on that as well, they can just snowball, and that's what they want to do. Then again, Empire, once actually Io hits level 6, then they just might flip the tables on Power Rangers and start going aggressive themselves. So far though, the supports are a little bit lacking in levels. Always want to fly Tusk, level 2, as well. Vansquard does hit level 3 on the Io at least.
I also want to mention right now that Scandal is playing this Alchemist mid brilliantly against his Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight, even though he's constantly bottle crowing, is just harassing Resolution so much, even with regards to that Dragon Blood, that Resolution is basically being outmaneuvered in this mid lane, unable to get the same level of last hits and farm.
He's not that far behind, but still Scandal holding a small advantage there. Of course, both mid laners are just bottle crowing constantly to keep their mana up, to get the harass from the spells, of course. And well, as far as they're even enough, I mean, 3 last hit difference, it's not that big. I would just like to see anybody on Empire just stacking up, maybe the Ancients or just the jungle for the Gyro to farm up, or maybe even the Dragon Knight later on.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot of farm ability on this Empire side in terms of both Ancients and ordinary stacks with that Gyro and Dragon Knight, but we are going to be seeing an engagement coming here on middle.
Yeah, they aren't smoked up though, so it's rather obvious, especially as there's a Radiant Observer Horde spotting everything out. So some time wasted by the supports, but they're just gonna go back. I would really like to see one of them pick up a smoke, but it's not on the courier either. And Mag, he knows they are coming from the river, so FNG, he shouldn't be able to get a jump on Mag. But that doesn't matter too much as Mag, he's poked out of XP, and however much you can delay the Vendetta with, it will be worth it.
Yeah, because Nyx is one of those heroes that, yes, items are good in him. You like to get those Blink Daggers and other lovely things on that to Nyx Assassin. But at the same time, he mostly is a level-dependent hero.
Yeah, he mostly is. That level 6 is most important. If the Io would get a fast enough level 6 comboed up with the Vendetta of Nyx Assassin, that's just so scary because one hero turns into 3 and oh, Moon, he gets solo killed with the Vendetta. Vendetta hit Impale, 1 right click. Oh god, Moon.
And that is huge right now. Weaver was starting to get...
Oh, Median as well, Scandal going down! Oh, they didn't even need to relocate Resolution, just Elder Dragon form Tusk coming in as well, with the Ice Shards. And suddenly Empire 2-1, taking control of the pace of the game.
And that's pretty devastating for Power Rangers right now, as basically the early game aggression is what Power Rangers' name of the game is, and for Empire to be out-ganking them at the moment, it's not very good stuff.
Yeah, I really didn't think that they would do that well with Tusk, but then again, Ice Shards, it's pretty damn strong. I mean, it doesn't scale in duration, so it's as strong as it will ever be as far as blocking the heroes in from the level 1. And the Ice Shards definitely did help out in getting the kill on Scandal there. And of course getting some levels. Aya still not level 6, but has the bottle, can reach and everybody else up as well with the tether. And
Hey.
what do you think actually is going to be the next move by either team?
Well, right now, all Empire need to do, they just need to get that level 6 special on Io and start ganking. Get those aggressive wards up, and start taking advantage of all these very squishy heroes. On the Power Rangers side, what we're really going to have to see is both this Tidehunter. He's now hit level 6, so he's got that Ravage, meaning the team fight is now in their favor. And the Alchemist is also going to start being able to rotate around, so we do see the engagement coming here on middle.
Looks like it won't come into anything because Resolution got stunned up by the Brave Fire Blast. Otherwise it would have been really scary for Scandal, to be honest. But well, there's a wraparound as well. Mag, he has his Vendetta ready. Oh god, I really love the playstyle. Just every time you have the Vendetta, try to go for the kill. And he's on the hunt. He sees FNG, but he's under the tower. Brave Fire Blast, Unstable Concoction. The cooldown comes out by Silent. He has the Haste Rune. They just kill off FNG, going for Scandal next. I mean, those kills happen so bloody fast.
Lovely rotation there. A little bit lucky that Gyrocopter managed to pick up that Haste Rune, but
Well,
very nice movements.
yeah, and overall Empire, they're actually the support play as well. Just sentry warding the river area, so they were rather sure that there's actually no vision of Power Rangers. So they didn't know the haste even came out. And well, that transitions into some tier 1 damage as well. Don't think they'll actually be able to bring it down even with the Elder Dragon form before Scandal comes back. But even the chip damage, it's still definitely worth it.
Yeah, it is worth noting right now that the ward, or the single ward from Empire, is very, very defensive.
Oh, Cheshire Cat wanted to come in from the side. Moon is there as well. There's the Unstable Concoction into the Spike Carapace. But in the end, it's not enough. He doesn't have enough mana, nor did he have the cooldown on the Vendetta. So they get one counter kill, but they did lose the tier 1 tower. It didn't even get denied. And 4 heroes rotated there, so in the meantime, they weren't farming or anything. The only one actually farming is J4. And it's smart by Power Rangers to just have Ancient Apparition hit level 6, because without the level 6, he's more or less useless.
Yeah, in Apparition, his ultimate is he's a very ultimate dependent hero. Without it, he's got an okay buff and an okay slow.
Mid-lane Ice Shard, Scandal gets caught. There's the stun as well. He doesn't have his Alchemist rate. Oh, what a Ravage. But Scandal already went down. Call down on top. 2 heroes down. They're chasing down Cheshire Cat. Tether is there, impaled to follow. And Moon, he's the only survivor for Power Rangers. It suddenly kill score 7-3. And Empire, man, they're playing so well. And they're going relocating top lane as well. They want to get J4. Oh god, poor J4 didn't even hit level 6. Rocket Barrage will be enough to get the kill.
Lovely stuff there coming out from Empire. They may have had the more late game lineup, but they're really taking this early game to the Power Rangers, and Power Rangers just can't handle the amount of burst that's coming out from Empire.
It definitely is just way too much for them to handle at the moment. And I mean, that's without the Tusk even having the Walrus Punch. Imagine when he gets that as well, that's going to be even more damage in the focus of Empire.
This is not looking very good for Power Rangers right now, considering that this isn't where Empire hits their final form, so to say.
Yeah, they definitely have a long way to go still. I mean, Silent on the Gyrocopter has the Flak Cannon as well as the Rocket Barrage maxed out, so I guess he won't be doing that much more. Maybe the cooldowns, and of course just the right click damage. That's what he can build on now. But the Dragon Knight, he's working towards the BKB. That item pickup is definitely going to be scary. Gyrocopter just finishes up the tier 1 tower top with no contention whatsoever. Actually, looking at the early graphs, Goldcraft, it's just skyrocketing, almost 5k already for the side of Empire, as well as XP, also around 4k. So 11 minutes in, they have a very sizable lead.
Agreed, as in this Empire has played these rotations perfectly. As looks like one going again against this Wraith King.
Oh god, there's the Impale. He doesn't even have the ultimate. He's only level 4, and that's a mega kill streak already for Silent. And only Gyrocopter, you just don't want to feed him, but it's not like Power Rangers are feeding. Empire, they're just munching on them.
Do you see the relocate coming back out again?
Oh my god, they were just killing everybody everywhere. The mech comes out, but it's not enough. Scandal, one more right click, actually surviving for the timing. Silent can't really follow up, and Io actually went down, and Silent is forced to TP out. The Ice Blast came as well, so they managed to turn it around somehow, and J4 actually gets the kill on Resolution. He shatters in the base.
Maybe a little bit too aggressive there, diving beyond that tier 1 tower when there were just so many people there. I feel that was slightly too much overconfidence coming out from Empire.
That's definitely something the Power Rangers needed. I mean, Empire, they're still pretty far ahead, but the Dragon Knight kill specifically was the biggest of them, because that delays his BKB, and without the BKB, he can still be just stun locked and bursted down by magic.
As right now, the Dragon Knight has only got that Ogre's Club, looking to get the rest of that BKB, while Gyro, surprisingly, is not working towards a BKB himself. Looks like he's going for a Manta style.
Well, I really think he should be looking for a BKB. Maybe he just went for a casual Yasha and then BKB after the fact. But oh, mid lane FNG in trouble. There's the Vendetta, Ice Shards, Impale as well, Mana Burn. The Snowball comes up and finishes it all. But Always Wanna Fly might be in trouble. The Chilling Touch together with Moon. He Sukuchis forward. He wants to kill Always Wanna Fly, but he doesn't want to overextend himself. The Ice Blast, though, will it actually hit it? Oh, Always Wanna Fly wanted to dodge it, but just stood right in it. Oh god, oh, they're going for more though. There's the cooldown. J4 taking huge amounts of damage. Silent gets the kill as well. Scandal can't get in range for the unstable concoction. Stuns himself. Cheshire Cat is there, but he doesn't have enough mana for Ravage. Oh, the relocate. It actually brought them out. Cheshire Cat was so close to death.
They're going to be in so much trouble there.
Yeah, Io will definitely go down. If he's not going down, I don't know. I have to be the Pope. Oh my god. Oh, he gets stunned after he's stuck on the high ground. The trees, actually not all of the trees are destroyed. I can't believe Manscore survived this. Mag, of course, coming in to help, being in range for the tether, but still. Oh, no, he just got smacked by Roshan.
That was lovely play, though, by Mag, realizing that he couldn't come in to help directly, but just getting in range of that tether. Brilliant teamwork.
Yeah, I mean, Empire just playing at its finest, and he finds FNG again. Oh my god, poor Wraith King. Mag just staying on top of him with the Vendetta. Supports are coming in. There's the Vendetta. Impale will connect easily. Now the cooldown even spent for it. Kind of overkill by Silence, but I guess they don't even care that much. Cheshire Cat is there. He has the Ravage as well. Can you actually put it to good use? I mean, at the moment, Power Rangers, if the Ravage hits, they need the Frost Blast to follow. Otherwise, Empire, I think they'll just continue on fighting.
Yeah, I think that right now, PR, the early game didn't work out, which means that they can't really do much against this hero lineup from Empire. And it's going to just get even worse, as this isn't a case that they can get the farm up on their heroes. As soon as those BKBs are coming out on the Dragon Knight, on the Gyrocopter, assuming he ever goes for it, looks like he might be now, got that Mithril Hammer in hand, it's going to get even more into a world of pain.
Most certainly is, and actually Dragon Knight, he's going back for a Shadow Blade. He had the Ogre Club, but now has picked up the Shadow Amulet, so Shadow Blade just to get the initiations, be even sneakier. I mean, it's maybe a little bit counterproductive if they already have an Invis hero, namely the Nyx Assassin. So Power Rangers should have a lot of sentries placed down, which of course they don't at the moment because their supports are piss poor. But man, the Shadow Blade, what do you actually think? Is it worth it for him to go for it instead of the BKB?
It all depends on what they want to do. As in, if they want to keep this aggression, if they don't want to risk this early game,
oh, they stun up Resolution. They really want to go. The Ice Shard comes out. FNG. He has the reincarnation. Finally, the cooldown is there as well to stop the aggression. There's the Ravage. It connects on 2. But, I mean, it's not enough. FNG goes down, slows down everybody, but the Impale hits on 2. Moon goes down before the time lapse. Now everybody's Spike Carapace. Scandal has to run away as well. His regeneration is pretty damn strong, but Resolution, he's backing himself into the corner. Moon, he bought back, came into the fight. He actually might get the kill. No, the relocate out. Resolution survives. Io playing the Sacrificial Lamb. But if it's like last time, he actually might escape because all the heroes are still there. They're baiting it out. There's the stun onto Cheshire Cat. Impale to follow. They pop the dust. They see Moon. Can they actually get the stun? Scandal. Unstable Concoction connects on 2 as well. But the Spike Carapace. Now Resolution. No Dragon Tail yet. Actually has to back off as well with the Swarm. Moon. Don't go too aggressive. The Dragon Tail. Oh, just out of range.
That was a lovely move there by Empire. Coming back before the relocate appeared. Effectively baiting out that team fight and getting another kill.
That was really smart plays by them. They knew they had the health to do so, as well as knowing that Tidehunter didn't have his ultimate, neither did the Weaver. So no time-lapse, no Ravage, all their bigger ultimates were already used. And of course Weaver also buying back there. He should be their source of damage. but he not only did he buy back, he's also forced to go towards a BKB. So I mean, this Weaver, he's not gonna carry for a long time.
As we just go have a look at the net worth currently on the Empire 2 cores, and if you're a PR fan, it makes a sad face.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'll have to pull up the blind on my goddamn window. Just a second.
As if we have a look at these stats right now, the Gyrocopter is at 10k net worth.
Wow, he's almost doubling Moon. Oh, they want to go on Mag though. The Ice Blast, Ray Fire Blast as well, but just blinks out of it. No worries for Mag at all. The Ray Fire Blast, it isn't the fastest projectile, so kind of easy to dodge if you have the blink.
And right now the issue is that at this point the carries on the PR side, they have no space. There's just so much initiation coming out from the IO and Weaver that they can't afford to farmers. Look, there's Mag going.
Oh, G4. Oh god, there's the relocate as well. They're just spending too much on it. Well, maybe not too much because it's a kill secured. But they can't follow up with a tower, although Cheshire Cat will TP out. Nope, Dragon Tail, the Shadow Blade just came into effect. Impale as well, Kraken shelled off. But in the end, it won't matter with the double damage on resolution as well as Mag. I mean, Empire, it definitely feels like they're on a whole another level as far as their play goes.
Yes, and again, it's like what I've said before, that PR, they were the ones with the early game lineup. They were the ones with that to Wraith King plus AA combo, and Empire just outplayed them early game.
Yeah, well, Power Rangers, I mean, they do like the somewhat aggressive lineups themselves, but this isn't the kind of lineup they actually used against Leaky or Power Rangers. But oh, bottom lane, huge trouble once again. Actually, time-lapse comes out by Moon. The Dragon Tail was already used, so Moon, I mean, he managed to survive the gank, but it wasn't much of a gank anyway, because Vanscore, he was really late to the party anyway, so it's more just resolution being a nuisance and harassing Moon.
And again, every single time he's forced to go
back.
Oh,
Scandal. He's hunting for Silent. The Unstable Concoction, no, he's just stunning himself. Is that the opening? Empire, will they go in? I really thought they were going to go for the cooldown. Oh, the snowball comes in as well. They stun up Scandal. That's 3 heroes. Walrus Spike is still alive. There's a nice Ravage up onto 3 heroes, but the BKB by Silent. The damage he's dishing out is absolutely sick. Finally, the reincarnation popped. Scandal actually bought back as well. Always want to fly. Yeah, he goes down to the Ray Fire Blast. Moon keeps on chasing. Silent is pretty low. The Swarm was there, but Vanscore comes in. Will they turn it around? The Rocket Barrage does so much damage. It's maxed out. There's the Impale onto FNG. Mag takes care of that kill. They might get more. Scandal gets the stun on Silent. Moon. They just can't kill Silent. It cannot be done, or can it? The Miner's Armor, Rocket Barrage. Oh, Moon goes down as Mag comes in to help a little bit. And now Scandal, he might be the next one. Spike us up. No mana for the Impale though. But Silent, with the help of Vanscore, Unstable Concoction, buys him some time. He doesn't have a blink, he doesn't have anything. He has the Chemical Rage, so his regeneration 77 HP per second. That's a lot of help. But, well, Cheshire Cat is coming in. But Mag, he's wrapping in from the side. More TPs to come. Cheshire Cat has to escape. There's the cooldown. Will it connect the Impale? Make sure it connects. He blinks out himself. And such a long, prolonged fight. But Empire definitely coming out ahead. And, I mean, Silent, thanks to the help of Vanscore, he's just not dying at all.
Yes, and again, it's... You just saw that in the middle of that fight, though. As soon as he popped his BKB, the opposing team, they had Weaver's right clicks, and that's all they could do to him.
Oh man, Weaver's right clicks, I mean, sorry to say, but they don't hurt at all. They barely scratch. He's not even doing 100 damage with a right click.
Which is the problem, that it'd be okay if he had that farm, but he doesn't at the moment.
Oh, and Scandal might be in huge trouble. Resolution, Dragon Form, Dragon Tail to start things up with. Mag can even follow if need be. There's the Impale finally coming out. The Ice Shards will miss, but in the end, doesn't matter once again as Mag finishes him up. The Ice Blast is pretty nice, but if you don't have the follow-up team fight, the Ice Blast is more or less useless.
And that's going to be all but one tier 2 tower left down, while just have a look at Empire's towers. Or the lack of damage.
Looking good.
I think there's only been there's been less than 1 tower's worth of damage being done to the Empire side right now, and it just shows you how quickly PR's lineup got shut down. They never got into that ganking ability they did. They did a few early game, but as soon as Empire just turned around and says, no, you're not doing that anymore, they felt that nothing PR could really do.
Yeah, that's exactly what Empire did. It's like, okay, you had your fun, now it's our turn, and well, looks like they won't be giving the turn back to Power Rangers, or at least not willingly.
Now it's in Power Rangers. They're gonna have to hit their ultimates perfect.
Oh, Cheshire Cat, oh, Max stops the TP with the Impale, got the Vendetta hit off as well, and Cheshire Cat, He's in heaps of trouble. He doesn't have the blink there. Resolution coming in with the Shadow Blade. Right click, breathe fire. Easy pick off. They might get FNG as well, and they will be successful in that. The Ice Blast does connect. Scandal goes for the stun and always wanna fly. BKB by Silent though, just boxing everybody out. Just zoning Power Rangers. And with 2 heroes down, I think Empire, even without Elder Dragon form, they could go for the tier 3s and high ground.
Now, it is worth noting that with Power Rangers being so low level, so to say, they will pop back up quite quickly. That's one of the small advantages they have. I say advantage.
Yeah, it's... Well, that's the advantage of being low leveled. But being low leveled isn't an advantage, but it's still something good. I mean, you have to find the positives in a bad situation like this. Because there's not much else positive happening for Power Rangers at the moment. I mean, just look at the graphs now. XP 15k for Empire. Gold graph nearing 20k. After this Roche, it's gonna be even more. And with the Aegis, they can easily just go in and Silent. He has 3.7k gold. BKB, Sanji and Yasha. What's his gold per minute? It's almost 700, 707 after this Roche kill now. I mean, that guy is absolutely ridiculous. He's almost doubling the highest net worth on his own team. Not to mention Power Rangers.
Having a quick bunch of the maths, I think Gyrocopter actually has more farm than all the cores of Power Rangers combined.
They do, and Resolution, he goes in, stuns up Scandal. There's the Ice Shard, Snowball to follow. Scandal drops really low, Walrus punch as well. He's still alive, he has the health, Magic 1 pop. Actually the kill of FNG in the background, the Silent comes in to deliver the right clicks. He gets healed up by Mancer. Scandal, slow down, there's the Ravage. It does actually hit on 4 people in the end. He just goes down for it, and that's GG called. And Empire just take game number 1 by storm.
And that was a very dominating display coming out from Empire.
Man.
Going over to Power Rangers' playstyle and effectively beating them at their own game.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. I mean, I really thought it's gonna be a lot more even game. Empire definitely had the advantage. Not the advantage, but they were the favorites coming into this match anyway. But man, this was just complete and utter rape.
It was a complete stomp. It was Power Rangers. As soon as Empire came into form, they offered no resistance.
Indeed, they did not. And well, I guess Power Rangers, they'll just have to try a bit better in game number 1, which, by the way, is coming up in just a second. So don't go anywhere. And of course, if you liked, follow our stream, follow us on their social media and whatnot. My name is Coucher, with me is Pinchy, and I think you'll be joining me for game number 2, or do you actually have time for it?
I should have, because obviously there are a few more games that are being cast on the secondary stream at 4 o'clock.
Well,
CET
if the game is as fast as this one, you'll make it.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you can just leave me solo at some point. But yeah, that's it for game number 1. Game number 2 coming up shortly.